Wow, what a performance. The man who retired, Sugar Shane Mosley, came back to defend the European title against a young upstart, Josh Kelly. Fantastic fight. What did you
I
think?
love this fight. This is the best fight of the weekend, right? Like Burchelt and Valdez was like a good fight for the drama, and there was a lot of action, but it was a lot of one way traffic,
It was a
right?
performance. It wasn't a fight.
Exactly. This was a motherfucker of a fight. Josh Kelly and David Avanasian went to a fucking brawl, baby. Uh, they were all over each other. Josh Kelly, we said it during the fight, man. It looked like he knew how to box, but he liked to get in that brawl. And he
Yeah.
liked to get in that brawl a little bit too much. And I think Avanasian, as the more experienced guy, was better about drawing that out of him and then picking his spots within there to do big damage. And he did. And he did a lot of great work on that inside. Whereas early on, Josh Kelly was real flashy on the outside, moving, doing a lot of beautiful shoulder movement, head movement, all that. But Avanasian, man, found the pathway to victory and just never stopped spamming that button until he figured it out.
Man, I hope this is a great lesson for Josh Kelly because I feel like he has a lot of potential. He looked phenomenal. It was a very much kind of like a young Jorge Linares, where Linares was a phenomenal boxer, but he loved brawling with those Mexicans. And then he would get knocked out. And it was like, bro, stick to what brought you to the dance. You're a very good boxer. Stick to that. Josh Kelly did that. When he was boxing, I mean, when he was in the zone, he was moving. He had great defense. He was controlling him with the jab. Uh, Avanesium kept stuffing his punches and trying to break the distance, luring him into a fight, successfully bringing him into a brawl. And then that's a world where David Evanesian has kind of made his name. You know, he
Mm-hmm.
goes in there. He's very tricky with the inside brawling, and that was the big difference. Man, it was. What did you think of the stoppage?
I like the stoppage. Well, it was the corner thrown in the towel. So
Yeah,
ultimately, you have to trust that they're doing the right thing. I thought it was a great stoppage because he wasn't just hurt, he was going to get finished, right?
yes,
The only thing that was going to happen next was more punishment, more hurt. And you know that part of him had to be sitting there thinking, like, man, we just saw what happened to Warrington. We just
yeah.
saw that he took too much damage, broke his jaw, and really fucked his career. And I absolutely applaud his coaches, Josh Kelly's coaches, for prolonging the life of the competitive life of their athlete by making sure he didn't take too much damage. We're sitting here saying it about Burchell. I didn't know this, but when it came to the Burchell fight over the weekend, apparently he was telling his corner after the ninth in Spanish, like, basically no mas, guys. I'm in trouble here. I'm not feeling this. Or no,
Really?
before the ninth. After the eighth, before the ninth, I think one of the two. So somewhere in there, yeah. Apparently, he told his corner in Spanish, like, "Hey, this is not okay." It was not. And so, I'm never gonna get mad when a corner, especially, throws a towel. I'm not that guy. If they think it's too much, it's too much. I agree with them. But man, some real just strategic errors by Josh Kelly. Right? It wasn't
Yeah.
technique. It wasn't his hands were slow. It wasn't there was nothing wrong except for the shit he decided to do.
Hmm. For Avanesian, do you see him going back to the world stage, or do you think he's just going to be a strong European fighter at this point?
I would like to see him dip back up once into the like lower world stage. I think that this is a really tough European level test, and he passed it as well as you could have hoped. In a lot of ways, he got the stoppage. He was able to impose his fight on a younger, less experienced guy. Uh, and the times before where he stepped up, he's had decent enough performances, right? Where he went in against Lamont Peterson, he went the full distance. And it's been a few years. Let's see him back. I know he went against that Green Machine guy and got stopped. That's a different story. But I still think that there's room for him to still get in an opponent here at this weight class that can kind of test him. Or could at least that guy could help make his name off of a guy like David Avanesian. He's now got a ticket that a lot of these young cats want. They want to beat an Avanesian.
Yeah, he holds the gate now. He's definitely. I mean, to us as the gate. I know in Europe, the European title means a lot. Like that's big. You get the British title, the Commonwealth title, the European title, the German title. In America, that's still the gate. Like we only view you from the world level and above. But he holds that gate down pretty tight. So I love his position where he's at now. I want him to continue there and make a lot of money fighting all these young prospects all across Europe. So I look forward to it.